I'm Noreen and welcome to my kitchen, and today we've got a dessert for you that's going to knock your socks off. We live in North Carolina and it's peach season here, so we have lots and lots of fresh local peaches coming in. We also have peaches from South Carolina and Georgia, and the peaches this year are delicious and abundant. So we decided to make a deep dish peach cobbler with a cream biscuit topping, sprinkled with cinnamon sugar, spiced up with cinnamon and allspice, and you are going to love it. Let's go see how we make this delicious deep dish peach cobbler. All right, we're going to go through the ingredients rundown for this deep dish peach cobbler. I've had so many people request a peach cobbler video that you're finally going to get one. And the reason is because it's peach season. And when peach season rolls around in North Carolina, that only means one thing. We have local fresh peaches, and we also have peaches that are coming out of South Carolina. Not only are they delicious, but they're dirt cheap. 49 cents a pound. I picked up a case of peaches the other day, and my younger daughter, Micah, could not be happier because she's a peach fiend. Peaches are one of my favorites, but a case of peaches for 12 bucks, you can't beat that. But today we're going to make a deep dish peach cobbler. I'm going to be using my, my big Rata stoneware casserole dish to build this, and I have 15 medium peaches here, which is about 15 cups of peaches. Now you can adjust this up or down depending on the size of your container, but my casserole dish fit 15 peaches. After they were peeled, I just put them in there, and then I halved them and took the pits out and stuff, so I know that the container is big enough. So I have about 15 cups of peaches, 2 cups of sugar, granulated sugar, a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and this is organic, a 1/4 cup of water, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then we're going to build our cream biscuit topping. I have 4 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup of butter that has been cubed and is cold, and I have 1 1/4 cups of whole milk and 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream. I have a teaspoon of cinnamon and a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice here, a tablespoon of vanilla. Oh, you know what? This goes over here. We're also putting the allspice and the cinnamon in the peaches. And then this is a tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, and then under here is a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon and a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. So I'm just going to stick that in there for now. And then, and I'm going to put this vanilla in the milk just to get this out of the way, because right now what we're going to do is we're going to build the filling. And I'm just going to go ahead and put all these things together. The sugar, the cornstarch, the water, lemon juice, and the seasonings, now the spices. And I'm going to stir it up. Growing up, my mom, and she still makes a killer peach cobbler. But when I got older and I tried to make her peach cobbler, I could never make it the right way. Mine always came out gummy on the bottom, or the peaches weren't cooked all the way, but the biscuits were overcooked, or vice versa. So I sought out a different way of making cobbler. Cooking the filling, to me, is the key. Now we're going to take this over to the stove, and we're going to set this over a medium heat, and we're going to kind of wait for this to cook down into a pie filling consistency, and we're going to let that cornstarch do its magic and thicken up and bind everything together. And while we do that, we're going to build the biscuit topping. So we're going to meet you back over at the stove. While our peaches are on the stove doing their deal, we're going to go ahead and build our biscuit topping. Remember, I have flour, granulated sugar, baking powder, allspice, cinnamon, and cold cubed butter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a big toss, kind of break up that butter in there, because I don't want all that butter in one spot, I don't want all the salt in one spot, etc., etc. And then we're going to get our pastry cutter, and we're just going to go ahead and cut the butter into the flour until we have what resembles like cornmeal or coarse crumbs or small peas. I know I say that every time I make a biscuit style dough, but that's the key. You don't want giant chunks of butter. You want them to be incorporated into that flour, and it's all good. Right, I've finished cutting my butter into my flour mixture, and now we're going to go ahead and We're going to add our milk and heavy cream and vanilla. Now, this is similar to how you make a baking powder biscuit, but this is a cream biscuit dough, and this is more like what you would do for, like a shortcake. And it's going to be very moist, and get it really, really well incorporated, because that flour is going to absorb all of that good cream and milk, and it's going to end up being the perfect consistency. You're going to think, well, maybe this is too sticky, but it's not. If you think it's too sticky, then just cover it and let it sit for 5 minutes, and then come back, and I promise you it's going to be perfect. Okay, there is our biscuit topping. We're going to go check our fruit, and then we're going to put it in a pan and make it all beautiful and delicious. Our peach mixture is ready, and it's nice and thick, resembles pie filling, but you'll notice that it might still look a tiny bit on the cloudy side, but that's okay, because we're going to continue to bake this, and at that point it will become clear. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that you have a nice deep dish. After all, this is deep dish peach cobbler, so you want a nice deep vessel to cook this in. You could do this in a cast iron Dutch oven. You could do this in a glass casserole dish. Just make sure it's nice and deep. Now, yours might not be as big as mine, so you want to keep that in mind. You may need to adjust it so that it doesn't overflow. So now all we're going to do is, I have a scoop here, and I'm going to take my cream biscuit topping, and I'm just going to scoop it right on the top. The only other thing that I do want to do is, I want a little bit of cinnamon sugar for the top. So I'm going to take about 1/4 cup of sugar, and maybe a tablespoon or so of cinnamon, and just stir that up. I have a tin of cinnamon sugar, but Micah likes cinnamon toast, and I'm pretty sure that
it's empty.
It's empty, that's right. Okay, so just sprinkle. This will give it a really nice topping, and it'll be beautiful when it comes out of the oven. So, take this behemoth and put it in the oven. Ooh. And we're going to bake it for about an hour, and when it's time to come out, we'll bring you back and we'll show you what it looks like. Alright, our peach cobbler has been done for a little while. I just turned off the oven and let it sit until I was ready to take it out, because I've been working on a big project this afternoon, and I didn't have time to take it out right away. But our cobbler is done. It did bake over. Make sure you put it on a tray, and you can see these biscuit topping is done. Looks so good. Oh, it's going to be wonderful. You can see, I'm going to just crack this one for you so you can see. Look at how beautiful that is. And it's a little brown because we put the spices and the vanilla in there. It's going to be great. Yeah. Alright, so we'll be back when it's time to serve you up a dish of this delicious deep dish peach cobbler. Alright, it's time to dish up this peach cobbler. So, let's do it. Oh, Molly is really excited to have this. This is one of her favorites. And that is a delicious dessert.
Might have to share that. I might have to share that.
Yeah, so there's a beautiful dish of deep dish peach cobbler. Everyone's going to love that. I don't know anybody who doesn't like peach cobbler. So, I hope you give this a try, and I hope that you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today. I hope you liked what you watched today, and I hope that you try it, and I hope that you love it. If you like what you saw, please consider hitting the thumbs up button and giving me a positive rating. And also, make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you're already not a subscriber, so that you don't miss out on any of the fun we have here in our kitchen every single day. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to come by tomorrow. Until next time, happy eating!